Hi Joe, thank you for coming today to meet with me. My name is Tanisha, and today we'll be going over your nutritional assessment, and I have some health goals for you if you um, want to go over them, and they'll help you complete your goals that you put out in the assessment. So, from the nutritional assessment, where is it? This is the food log, and you had two goals. You wanted to be healthy and lose weight in the process of being healthy.
Yep.
And that's like easily doable, and those two things go hand in hand, so you'll be able to accomplish that easily, I think. And yes, so from the way that you're eating now and like being active, are you seeing any changes in your weight or health?
I probably lost a couple pounds, but not much, cause I've been like on and off with my diet and my workout, so I think that's the problem. What I'm doing.
That's good. And like keeping the food log, how did you think that affected your eating?
I think I became more aware of what I'm eating, and I kind of like went on being healthy rather than going to the kitchen just getting a chocolate bar and other stuff like that. So I think I got a little, aware of what I was supposed to eat and like what not to eat.
Yeah, I think a food log does that for you. Like you just become more conscious of everything that you're eating.
Yeah.
So, I prepared for you a little handout of I have three recommendations for you, and they can help you with your goals. Like your goal was to eat healthy and to lose weight, and I focused on the eating healthy because I want you to have a healthy relationship with your food. And so losing weight is important, and you can do that, definitely, but I think focusing on eating healthy first, then you'll be able to lose the weight.
Okay.
So that's kind of like what I focus on here. And so summarizing the food log, like I put it into, I have like an online resource, and so I could see all the different like food categories you have and like the amounts if you're having too little or too much. And so I made a summary of that. And so for the vitamins, it says that vitamin D is too low, and same as vitamin A, E, C, and potassium. And so I feel like a lot of those vitamins and minerals that you're lacking, you can be getting them from your vegetables and fruits. And so one of the goals that I have for you is to increase the vegetables and fruits. And then also sodium was a little high, and vitamin B12 was high too, and you mentioned that before to me. And
yeah, I was
and
taking the medicine and the vitamins and the complete whatever, the B vitamins that I was taking, like the supplements. I think that's what it was.
Okay, yeah. But even without that, because I didn't have that in the food logs, but I still like researched that, and even in these food logs, it was still high in B12. But I researched, and it says that it's okay. Like there's no toxicity or like bad result in the high amount, and you weren't too high, so that's okay too. And yeah, I think, you said that you ate out like 4 to 5 times per week, and so I mentioned here that that's maybe too much. You can like lower that, and vitamin D you were also low, and I think I mentioned that up there. Yeah, so that's kind of a more in-depth look at what you're too high or too low in. But yeah, I just focus on vitamin D, vegetables, and sodium. So, like, do you have any, like, what is your motivation for your goals to lose weight and to eat healthier?
Probably because I'm actually not young as I was before, and I'm like planning on going back to the Philippines, and I kind of want my family to be seeing me in like a better way, because like they know that when we move here, I'm gonna be gaining a lot of weight, and that's gonna be like a lot of pressure on me when I go home. So I kind of don't want that anymore, and I kind of want to do it for myself too, because as I said, I'm not really that young anymore. Probably as I age, I'm gonna have to like look at what I'm eating, because I need to look at my health and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing that you want to improve your health and like you care about what other people will think of you when you go home.
Yes.
And so, okay. Well, I can help you complete your goals. So this is the first one, the recommendation of eating more fruits and vegetables. And so I think the key here to think about, like, yes, vegetables and fruits are important, but I think balance in a diet is important as well. So a healthy relationship with food will include all types of food. So it'll have the vegetables, fruits, grains, proteins, but then there's also times for like the treats like donuts or whatever your favorite thing is. And so, yeah, I think that's important to remember, because like then it'll be more of a lifestyle change than just a diet for like a couple weeks. Like you'll be able to have it for the rest of your life.
I think because jumping into a diet would be so hard for me, because it's like after maybe 3 days you're gonna be going back to whatever you were before. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's why it's good to like make a lifestyle change instead of just a short-term change, and you'll be able to apply it throughout your whole life. So yeah. We can take a look at the Ken's food guide. Have you seen this before?
No.
No? Okay. Well, you are 20.
Yes.
I'm correct. And so, sorry. So there's like, for each age group, there's a different recommendation for each food group. And so food groups, vegetables and fruits, grains, milks alternatives, meats and alternatives. So you fall under this category. And so focusing on the vegetables and fruits, you need 7 to 8 servings. And so it kind of seems like a lot, and especially compared to the other ones, like that's the one you need most of. And so I think a lot of people have trouble fitting all those in. Yeah. But when you think about it though, a serving is just half a cup. So that means you need, so 7 to 8. So that could be like 4 servings fruit, 4 servings vegetables, or like however you like it best. But the recommendation is more vegetables than fruits. So yeah, and I think another problem with like people not wanting or like knowing how to fit the vegetables into their diet is that like maybe they don't taste good, or like
they don't know how to prepare it.
Yeah, in a yummy way.
Yeah.
Because like they can definitely be good, but maybe you don't know how to prepare properly. And so, for each strategy or recommendation, I have a strategy on like how to complete the goal. And so, so like number 1, it's like more, try a new vegetable. Like if you've never tried like eggplant, like you can try it and like maybe you'll hate it, but maybe you'll like it. Or you can try new recipes. When you eat out, you can get a side of vegetables instead of like French fries. Or like you can try different ways to include the vegetables and fruit in your diet, like smoothies. So yeah. So this is from the site Dietitians of Canada, and that's a really good resource if you want to check it out. They have tons of good information on there, and so you can review this later if you want. But it's just like lots of different types of ways to use vegetables or fruits, and it's like really delicious. Like this one's like sauteed apples and butter, cinnamon, and it's just like
a recipe kind of.
Yeah, it's not exactly recipe, but I guess it's like really simple. Like it's like you can pair like kind of pairings, like pair the red pepper with like frozen greens, or so they're like yummy ways. So like if you're having troubles knowing how to cook it in a delicious way, these are some good tips. Yeah. first one. Do you have any questions about adding more fruits and vegetables into your diet?
Not at the moment though. I think I'm good.
Okay. Awesome. And at the end, as a heads up, we're going to be setting some goals on like, you can pick like one of these or all of these on like a goal to set like for the week.
Okay.
So yeah. So the next section or recommendation is vitamin D. And so in your food logs, I saw that you were getting enough calcium, and that's like from the dairy, and so that was good. But vitamin D was low. If we check it, let's see. There. Vitamin D, so, oh yeah, this is like what you're supposed to have.
Mm-hmm.
So it says 15 to 100 UG. And then you only got 3. So it's kind of like, oh, that's kind of low.
Yeah.
And just so you know, so for the calories, I got that you can have 2,534. Like that's like the healthy amount for you. And you had 2,335. And so that's a healthy range. Like you can go a little bit above that number or a little bit below, which is what you have. So I think like the amount you were eating for these 3 days was like a good amount. So, and if for your goal like you wanted to lose weight, so yeah, you don't have to change the calories. You can just change the type of foods that you're eating. So
Yeah.
yeah. And as well, I think exercise can help losing weight as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to focus on just like the dietary changes that you can make. So yeah. So then vitamin D doesn't really help with weight loss. Like I feel like the vegetables and the fruit will definitely help.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just like a health recommendation. Oh, sorry. Vitamin D. I'm still on vitamin D. Yeah. And it is a health recommendation because to absorb your calcium, vitamin D will help with that a lot. And some food sources for vitamin D that are natural would be fish, and so that's kind of hidden there, but it's like salmon, whitefish, mackerel, and you can get like cod liver oils, which are good for vitamin D, as well as eggs. They're natural sources of vitamin D. Milk and alternatives, they have added vitamin D to the milk, and so then that helps you absorb the calcium better. And as well, vitamin D comes from the sun, and so that's like the sunshine vitamin, which is kind of cute. And yeah, so now that it's coming summer, that'll be easier to absorb from the skin.
What does vitamin D help? Why do I need it?
Vitamin D, it helps you absorb calcium.
Oh.
So that's good for phosphorus. So absorbing calcium, phosphorus, and for your strong bones and teeth.
Okay.
So yeah, so teeth health is good.
That's good.
Oh yeah, and like as you age, you can get osteoporosis, and so it's important. So while you're young, to like get enough calcium and vitamin D so your bones are strong and healthy. So when you're older, you don't lose as much as when you're older. Yeah. So yeah, healthy bones. And yeah. So yeah, I think we've gone over this. You can take a vitamin D supplement if you don't feel like you're getting enough from these sources, but I think you can easily get it from these sources.
Yeah.
Especially as it's summer. And milk, yeah. And even like soy milk, they'll have vitamin D added to it as well. So the next category is sodium.
Yeah.
And so this one I think it's really important to talk about.
I have a lot of those.
Yeah, I think many people do, and they don't realize they're getting so much sodium. And so DRI, so that's what you should be having. That's like you can have 1,500, but you're having 3,197
times 2. Oh boy.
And so that's a lot. But I feel like a lot of people it's hard. They don't track their sodium intake. and it's in a lot of foods, and it's hidden in some. Okay, sorry for that cut in video. The camera died, and we lost our study room. So we are here now again, just outside the study room, and continuing on with sodium. So where we left off, I feel like it's normal for a lot of people to be high in sodium, but that is something that will be beneficial to decrease in your diet.
Yeah.
And so, yes, from the chart, you are high, but we'll be able to decrease that.
Double the amount of sodium.
Yeah. Like, do you feel ready and like confident in decreasing sodium?
I'm ready. It's like knowing that it's like it would increase my risk of getting high blood pressure. That's kind of scary because like my parents have those, and I kind of don't want to like be like them. Because like even my grandparents have them, like they pass it around. Like I think it runs in the family. Like it's bad. So I think I really need to watch my sodium intake to like, I just need to be aware.
Yeah, and I'll give you some resources and ways to be aware of the sodium intake. So of course from the lunch meats, canned foods, and fast foods are sources of high sodium. So you can decrease those. And I think something to focus on is maybe eating out less per week. So instead of 4 to 5 times, you can eat like 1 to 2 times per week. And knowing how to read a nutrition facts label. And so these are on many foods. They're not on like baked goods from the grocery store. They're not on fresh fruits or vegetables, but they are on like packaged goods. So like if we thought this was like a granola bar or a piece of fruit or vegetables, we start at the top and it says half a cup. So if we were referring to a vegetable, from what we learned in the Can's Food Guide, half a cup is 1 serving. And what I forgot to tell you before was, so for fresh, frozen and canned fruits or vegetables, half a cup is 1 serving, as well as for the juice. But for the raw lettuce, it's 1 cup. So that's a little tricky, but I feel like the vegetables and fruit is the easiest because almost everything is half a cup. And so you can measure half a cup like maybe like a little, like a handful, or I find it easier to think about it as an actual measuring cup. I don't know, what's easier for you to?
Well, I think, a measuring cup would be better. But, I've heard about people like trying to weight their food. Is that right?
You can, because as well, for me, it is easier. I always picture it in the cups. Some people are the hands. But yes, if you look here, like 125 milliliters, or there's sometimes grams. Like for the meat, there's 75 grams is 1 serving of meat, and you can definitely weigh that. But I think an easier way would just be picturing the measuring cups or like your hand. So, like for meats, like 1 serving would be like your size of a palm. Like cheese would be your thumbs, which is kind of sad to think about because a lot of people like cheese.
Like me.
So yeah, that's 1 serving. That's not a lot.
Yeah, that's like small.
Yeah. And one thing, I guess we're just kind of going more in depth in the campus food guide, but I think that's good. But bread, sometimes on the food label of bread, and we'll get into this, but for the serving sizes, it says, so like per 1 serving or per half a cup, it says, it can alternate per bread, like maybe one says it's 1, one says it's per 2 slices.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if that I'm getting across to you, but like, so 1 slice or 2 slice, it says. And so you're like, okay, that's how it is. But only, so 1 slice of bread is 1 serving.
Oh.
Even if this says different.
But in the food guide, it's like a different kind of, oh, okay. So I have to follow what I really need in the food guide rather than like following whatever it is written in the nutrition facts.
And like, or no, like the nutrition facts is right, but for bread specifically, it's confusing.
Yeah.
Because it says, like it changes per one or per two?
Yeah. I kind of get that because I was like looking at it because I tried to look for the calories and stuff for breads, and I saw one that says like this one contains 150 calories for a slice, and the other one would be like 150 for 2 slices.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of gets confusing.
Yeah. So that's Canada's food guide. Do you have any more questions about the Canada's food guide? There's other food options.
How about the yogurt? Is that like a per container, like the small one? Is that how it is?
Well, I don't know because there's different sizes for containers, but so this isn't half a cup. This is 3/4 of a cup. So that is
Like
less.
one of those, where you buy it at the grocery store. Is that like considered a street?
I think that would be one spray.
Okay.
They do vary, but I think they're usually pretty small.
Yeah.
So I would say that would be outside. And I think just another thing to consider, even going back to fruits and vegetables or like anything else, all of them say like to prepare them with lower amounts of salt, sugar, and added fat.
Yeah.
And because like that does like make the vegetable or any food item, even like the bread or the meat, adding salt or like butter makes it more delicious.
Yeah.
But maybe that will make it more healthy.
Yeah.
So it's like increase your vegetables, but don't make them, don't decrease their nutrition by adding all the butter or.
Regarding the salt, what would you like me to like? Is there any alternatives that you like use for instead of salt?
Yes. I would recommend adding different types of herbs to your food. So are you thinking like vegetables or like on your meat?
Probably meat, because like usually at steaks, people use like salt and pepper, right?
Yeah.
I think that's my big problem too. I like steaks, and we have like a lot of canned foods at home, which like I think adds to my sodium intake every day, and that's like really unhealthy. So yeah.
Yeah, canned foods, they do carry a lot of sodium that you wouldn't think they do unless you look at the nutrition label.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they have some options for meats, but I have a list at home that says like the ones that match like really good with meat and even the vegetables. But
Maybe just like
I think
in general.
yeah, I can definitely email it to you at a later time. The perfect like herb for the meat type. But yeah, there's like tons of things like you can use garlic or there's lots. I'm trying to look, but I'm not sure if it talks about herbs fully here. I think
So
here
you're
it mentioned.
yeah. So I think you're like trying to say that rather than using salt, I could just use herbs instead of.
Yeah, you can even like you can enhance it with like lemon if you like for fish or or even like if you wanted to decrease the fat. Like there's like healthier fats than like instead of using butter you can use oil. Things like that. Yeah. So
I had a question.
yeah.
How about like margarine and butter? Is it true that margarine is unhealthy than butter?
Okay, well the thing about margarine, I'm not 100% so, but it's like, I think it started off as a vegetable oil and it was hydrogenized, processed to be a solid fat. And so that makes it have more trans fats. And I'm not 100% sure. But from my how I do it is like if it's a solid fat, it's usually saturated or trans fat. And so the liquid fats, like olive oil, canola oil, they're the healthier ones. And those are the ones that you want to be consuming more. And the only thing is like coconut oil. That's like our trend nowadays. But it is healthy though, even though it is a saturated fat and it's solid at room temperature, it's still healthy for you in moderation. Yeah. So I'd always go with the liquid fat though. Olive oil I think is the healthiest one.
Just trying to like find other alternatives that I could like use instead of what I have at home. So yeah, sorry I'm asking so much questions.
No, that's good. And I'm just gonna check the camera to make sure it didn't finish. We're good. Okay. Yes. And so, like, when you usually use margarine, are you using it like on your toast or just to cook?
I found out a few years back that margarine is like very, very bad for my health, for everyone's health. So I kind of stopped. So I just needed to confirm about it because I heard that margarine was like, it was used back in the day. It was gray to like fatten the turkeys so they could sell them. And then when the turkeys weren't eating them, they tried coloring it yellow and like feeding them to people. So I'm like, I think that's questionable.
Yeah, I will look that up. I'm not too sure. I haven't heard that before, but yeah, I don't think, like, of course in moderation, anything you can eat when you want, but like margarine for every day, it's not the best fat for you.
Probably avocados. I think I've heard avocados.
Good or bad?
Good.
Yeah. So avocado, I think they are like, of course, like they have a mixture of fats. They have saturated and unsaturated, but they have mostly unsaturated, and that's the really good fat for you. So if we look at the, have we gone through this time? I don't even know. And so for the fats, like it shows total fat, saturated, and this one doesn't show trans, but trans can also be underneath. And I don't think usually it shows unsaturated fats, but those are like the good ones. And so yes, those ones are like healthy for you, and they're heart healthy too. So olive oil, avocados, omega 3s, and yeah. And so yeah, just to go through the nutrition facts.
So here.
Yeah, I think we finished off here. We sidetracked a little bit, but so the ones that I mentioned, fat, cholesterol, sodium, those are the ones that you can make sure to limit. And if you look at the blue, the percentages, those are the daily values. So like from your whole day, that's the number you're getting. So sometimes, even for sodium, like this one says 13, but sometimes it's even more. Like sometimes it's like 30%, and that's a lot. So if you look here, 5% is a source, 15% is a good source, and 25% is an excellent source. So if you are looking at the light purple, like fiber, protein, vitamins, or minerals, those are, yes, that'd be great to have 5, 15, or 25% in those numbers. But if it's orange in this diagram, but fat, sodium, cholesterol, and it's those numbers, that's something to look out for when you're looking at a nutrition test.
So I would prefer having like a lower rather than like, yeah, like for example 13, that's like pretty bad. It's like, oh.
Yeah, it's still okay, like if you're having it, like if it's like a cookie, and like, okay, yeah, I'll have a cookie, like every once in a while, it's okay. But like, yeah, so 13 would be a source of sodium, which isn't exactly what you're wanting in a food, but yeah. Balance is key. And I feel like we went through everything. We went through the fast food tips. I will give you the sheet on the herbs, but also I think, does it say dietitians? Yeah, dietitians of Canada is a very good source to look at online, and they have all this information. It's very good. And so the last thing that we'll be doing is making a health goal for your week. I'm just going to check the camera one more time. I apologize. Still running. Okay. So like, what is your idea of being healthy?
Probably like one of those people who doesn't like get like one of those like breathing type when running. That's the type of healthy I think. And like healthy is like feeling good about yourself and like I don't know, like you know, healthy like you can do stuff without any compromises. Like you just do whatever you're doing without being healthy. No, you're not sick. You're not like yeah, those
You're
kind of
able to
stuff.
go through life
Yeah.
and like not have interferences
Yeah.
from your body.
Exactly.
So like a physical health.
Yeah, physical health.
And do you have like an idea of like a dietary type of health? So that's like a fitness. Like if you work out, you'll be able to run without
Yeah.
getting out of breath.
Yeah.
So what's your idea of a diet, like eating right type of health? When you think of like healthy eating.
When they say eating healthy, I probably think of people eating vegetables all day, every day, and like just that, and like those people who just drink smoothies all day long. I think that's my idea of eating healthy, and sometimes it's scary, especially if you don't have any idea about what is really eating healthy is about. So like, you're gonna get scared if people will be saying you need to like eat healthier because you think of that, like
Yeah.
all the greens, all the stuff that that's
Yeah.
just how I picture it.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a scary thing. It can sound scary. And greens, so like they're not your favorite.
I like them.
You do?
I just
Yeah.
don't like bell peppers.
Yeah.
Bell
And you
peppers.
don't need bell peppers. But yeah. Okay. And so with these weekly goals, we can you can set one for anything that you like, but you can choose like the vegetables and fruits, you can choose sodium, you can choose the vitamin D, and we can give you a goal, a strategy on how to complete the goal, and even like how I can help you complete this goal.
Okay. What if I want to try a new vegetable every day for that?
That's good. Maybe we can be like, because we want to make this goal attainable. And so maybe a vegetable, like a new vegetable every day, is that too much maybe?
No, it's okay. I can do it.
Yeah.
If you want, I could try bell peppers.
Well, if you don't like bell peppers, maybe that's not good. How about, and like, okay, maybe we can say like you can try, or like have vegetables every day.
Yeah, I can
But
do
like
that.
maybe 2 or 3 new ones per week.
Yeah.
So
I can do that. So my goal is to try a new vegetable once a week.
yeah, because we want you to have them every day,
Eat vegetable every day.
but we want it more specific. So eat them every day.
2 new vegetables every week.
Yeah. And do you have an idea of the 2 new vegetables you want to try?
I want to try the bell peppers and the kale. Like I haven't really
Kale?
tried kale.
Okay. So maybe we can like skip down here and be like, how will I complete this goal? So like purchase kale and your choice and color of bell pepper, and so they'll last a week, and then you can incorporate them into your meal plans.
Okay. That sounds attainable. So I end up at 19.
Okay. And so how will you use the bell pepper in your meals?
Like, cause the first time I tried it with hummus. I think that was good. I'd rather it be raw than have it cooked.
Yeah.
'Cause it brings out the taste more. So I'm like, oh, I think I'd do raw.
Okay. So then maybe, I don't know, like I like them in my sandwiches, that's raw. Personally, I like every vegetable cooked better. But so in the vegetables, that's raw, or in the sandwich, that's raw. Hummus.
I think for me, like a lot of vegetables for me taste better when they're raw. Like carrots and bell peppers. I don't like them cooked.
Yeah.
I don't like the mushy and the stuff. I
Okay.
don't. Yeah.
So raw. So yeah, we can try them for this week. Eat them with hummus, and with the.
I have no idea
Kale.
how to do kale.
Do you like smoothies, or is that's?
Yeah.
Because then when you said it's your idea of health, you thought of smoothies. But
Yeah.
is that too scary?
No, because like the past week, I've been trying to like do a green smoothie.
Mhm.
So I put spinach.
Okay. Sorry for the camera dying again. We ended off on smoothies, and
Yeah.
so yes, when you think of health, eating healthy, you think of people eating smoothies all day.
Yeah.
And so we can try that, but I don't think eating them all day would be a healthy way to go about that.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't be, like, you wouldn't be able to maintain that throughout your whole life.
Yeah.
So maybe like I do smoothie breakfast, like you can have like one per day, or that would make it more attainable.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to fit in the kale.
Like, can I put the peppers in the smoothie?
You know, I haven't tried that, but I will research that and see. But you can add like tons of things to smoothies, and they don't even have to be like a green smoothie. Like you can have like tons of berries, add spinach, and it won't even be green, and you won't even taste the spinach really, because all the berries will like mask the flavor, and it'll taste good.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe just don't add too much sugar in the smoothie, like.
Like I can use orange juice for the base, right, instead
Mhm.
of water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that wraps up the interview. Thank you for coming, and I hope that you can complete these goals, and I'll get back to you next week. I'll give you the list of the herbs that go well with the meat options.
Yeah. And at least like I actually had like a better understanding on what this is, like what's really important. So I'd like to thank you more.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll get in touch soon.
Okay.
Thank you.